Welcome once again to another episode of 50 Shelves of Grey Matter. Viewers, I've got five more books in this episode to review and show to you. Let's start with the first book. This is a famous work by Kazuo Ishiguro, the Nobel Prize winning novelist. This book is a edition before he won the Nobel Prize. It says winner of the Booker Prize, and this was also a Booker Prize winning book. So it's a very well known book of Kazuo Ishiguro, perhaps his most well known book. I don't know if it's the best book because I have read his other work, especially this one, When We Were Orphans. I have that one as well, and I liked it more than this one. But this is far more well known than the other one. It's about a butler in an English country house who and it is about the story of the period during the Second World War. He was serving um, a lord who was um, you know sympathetic sort of to Nazi regime before the World War started, and he tried to bring out um, a kind of a deal between Hitler and the British, and all that negotiations took place in this house, in the house of this lord, where the narrator of this story is a butler, and he is reflecting on that period. um, it's a flashback story. Is reflecting on that period, and he believes that in his own way he played a part in those negotiations. So he fulfilled his obligations as a butler, and that is why he considers him to be a good butler. So this is a not a very thick book. It's actually not not a very just hardly 250 pages. You I read it in 2 days, in two sittings in fact. And this is Kazuo Ishiguro. He looks much older now. This is a younger photo because this book came out in I guess in 1998 or something. Let me check. This was in 1989. So obviously, Ishiguro won the Nobel Prize in 2015 or 16. I don't remember, but he looks much older now. This is his photo of those days when this book was published, and obviously you can understand the importance of the book from the fact that um, it won the Booker Prize. So a famous book, but I wouldn't say to me it appealed too much. Uh, Neither the language nor the plot was so good as to deserve a Booker Prize in my view. Okay, let's look at this another book. It's a book on Christian philosophy, and it's a book by an author, Bouvard Regulas, who is almost absent on the internet, which is very strange because almost every book has some kind of comment on the internet. I checked it after I read the book. He is a pastor in in India. Um, this man, he is um, and in the south of India he has also taught. It's kind of a good introductory book about Christian philosophy, and both Catholic theology and Protestant theology. You can see the photographs here. He goes through the ancient ones, medieval period, um, but the first half of this book is about philosophy. I mean, introduction to what philosophy is, and only in around the next half does it start with early Christian philosophy. Then it goes on to the Reformation ideas of Luther and Calvin, and Wesley, and then you have the modern Christian philosophers like Gabriel Marcel. Then you have Karl Rahner, of course, Karl Barth, Teilhard de Chardin, and many other Christian philosopher, Karl Barth and Paul Tillich. Uh, it's a short, uh, a kind of a brief summary of their ideas has been given in this book, but it's very clear and very well written. I didn't expect it to be this clear, so it's a good introductory book, um, and kind of a good book for a beginner in the field of Christian philosophy. So here goes this book on the shelf. Let me take it out and put it on above. Okay, so two books done. Let's see which is the third book. It's a hardcover book. Very few hardcover books I have, but this is one of them. It's a book, Thinking About the World by Manideepa Sen. Manideepa Sen is a professor of philosophy in Jawaharlal Nehru University in India, in Delhi. And this book comes out of the Indian Institute of Advanced Study in Shimla. I have got many books from this institute. Uh, all of them are hardbound. Now, this is a book on in analytical philosophy. Actually, Manideepa Sen talks about the linguistic philosophy of Wittgenstein and the linguistic turn that uh, Frege, one of the teachers of Wittgenstein, started. So this is I'll read out to you. This monograph explores the nature of Derrida thoughts and its impact on debates centering on the externalist versus internalist accounts of the mind as discussed in analytical philosophy. So it goes through Russell, Frege, Evans, Berg, Putnam, McDowell, Recanati, and all these people in the analytical tradition who have much to say on the linguistic philosophy of Wittgenstein. Um, Not an easy read, I would say. So I don't have much to say about it because I read just a couple of pages in the beginning. I don't know what else follows, so I won't say much about this book. But for your information, it's a beautiful book, looks good. As long as the book looks good, it has it deserves to be a part of the shelf. So let's go to the next book. Oh, look, this is even better looking. Look, it's God and the Big Bang by Daniel C. Mack. This comes out of the publishers Jewish Lights, Woodstock, Vermont. Uh, the title of this book is a little misleading because it appears that the book is about physics and God, but mostly it is about the um, Kabbalistic philosophy in Judaism. Daniel Mack is a Judaic philosopher. I've read this book in its entirety. It talks about the similarities between the Old Testament description of the universe, the 10 Sephirot, starting with Keter, Ayin, the ultimate nothingness, and evolving to Shekinah, the female presence. And he has tried to kind of show the similarity between this and um, the Big Bang theory, the way the universe has emerged from the primordial nothingness. Also, he kind of makes room for Jewish practice based on this metaphysics. The idea is that the human consciousness is able to reassemble the dispersed parts of the Ayin and return to the original unity, and that is the aim of our life. So in that sense, this is very similar to Vedanta and certain Buddhistic philosophies. And It is surprising how similar Judaism, especially Kabbalism, is with Hinduism. Far more similar than Christianity is, which is very strange. So, and look at the cover of this book, it's very beautiful. So, here goes this book on top of my shelf. And then the last work is Religious Consciousness and Life Worlds. This is again a book from Indian Institute of Advanced Study. As I told you at the beginning, this book was also from Indian Institute of Advanced Study. This book is also from the same publication. It's part of a seminar that took place where religious consciousness of different religions, Hinduism, Christianity, Islam, Sikhism, was discussed in the light of the theory of life worlds of Husserl. So it has a phenomenological bent, and it's a good book actually, because this whole perspective is very important and is very new. Hardly you'll find very few books which have dealt with religion from the standpoint of the concept of life worlds that uh, Husserl started. So the beginning says the expression life world comes to us from the philosopher Edmund Husserl in his great work The Crisis of European Sciences. So it starts with that, and then there are papers which different people have looked at my uh, points that I've noted. I've read it closely. This is because it's a very good work. So, so these are the 5 books that I covered. Then we have a book on uh, Christianity and a novel. Mostly, most of my reviews have one book of fiction, and this book is very important. Though I won't say I enjoyed it very much. The amongst these, the book I liked the most was God and the Big Bang, because of its interpretation of Kabbalah. Then this religious consciousness as an introductory textbook. This is good. Remains of the Day. Uh, wouldn't say it's a very good. No, I mean, to me, I wouldn't give it more than 5 out of 10. And Thinking About the World is a very tough book, so I don't have much to say whether it's really good or not. So that's all in this episode. I hope you enjoyed it. See you next time in another edition of 50 Shelves of Grey Matter. Thank you for watching.